Alright, welcome back. This is M-Dog. We are in the same spot here at Octuba. I think we just threw that out without PVA stick on there. So if you saw my, sorry, I said Octuba. This is amber, of course. If you saw my last amber, oh wow, are we down to, oh, okay, we still got 30, I got you. If you saw my last video at amber, we are in the same spot, 81, 141. Just make sure we get PVA on all these. And this one is actually, oh, this is classic pop-up. So we've switched, we must have switched the order, how I had them set up last time. Let me see. Yeah, that's classic pop-up. So this is the one that's set up like a chod rig. The other two are classic pop-up. This one's chod. We've got mulberry 15 pop-up, mulberry purple artificial corn, mulberry dip, and then a PVA stick that consists of that. I got this from 2 different sources on the RF4 forums. I did give credit in the last video. Let's accept all of these gifts from my alt account. You can see all of the many things that I have sent over. I can still fish on my alt account, but now that you're not able to purchase gear with in-game currency, which is silver, and send that from account to account, it's a little less exciting. Kind of takes one of the things I liked about this game away. I know it doesn't affect too many people like it affects me, but for me that was kind of a big deal. I would, while I was doing something different on my main account, on my alt account, I would like just fish a reliable bream spot or whatever. I would end up making a lot of silver on that account, and then I would buy something nice and send it to my main account. And then in turn, with my main account, I would constantly be sending smaller stuff to my alt account to keep it sort of refreshed on fishing for more reliable, you know, smaller fish. I even did carp on both for a while, but anyway, we're making this video just to check this spot again. 81, 141, 81, 140, whatever it is. Here we are on the map at E4, kind of into this area here. Sometimes I have been casting a little more this direction. Either way, a couple nights ago, really good spot. Over hour and a half, hour and 45 minutes or so, we came up with just under 600 silver. It was just pretty active. It was overall pretty good. The percentage of common carp was fairly low compared to the other types, so that was nice. But in general, I would say it just felt like a good spot. It looks like we're starting off with a pretty nice fish here. Trying to drive our comfort, even though it's raining. I don't want our energy to run out super fast, so let's see if we can't get that comfort up a little bit. This is the line that we have the least strength on. somebody's asking in our in-game chat sort of where do they go after the Alpha 8000. And I know that that person typically watches these videos, so my opinion is you can fish for almost anything, especially we're talking about feeder fishing with your alphas. And so the next step to me, if you're interested in carp fishing, is saving for just really nice carp setups. Now, some people might think about sturgeon, some of the other big, powerful fish. But as far as feeder fishing, to me, from alphas, the next step is let's get some nice carp rods, and let's get some of those, and there's several options. I'm not sure that there's just like one option in terms of reel, but, let's get something that we can really, for a first fish, this is a heck of a first fish that we've caught in this spot. That is a nice frame. Really nice frame. So, I know a lot of people now are really liking the Tagara reels. You could save for one of those. I have a Beluga Vinga. I mean, that's very expensive. I don't know that you need to go that far. The Megara is also really good, but I mean, you're talking about a lot of silver. You just want to think about, like, what do I want to, as I start building carp setups, what do I want them to be? Now, for spin fishing, I go a different direction. At the point when you have alphas, to me, I would start thinking about casting rods and casting reels. So, again, there's lots of different options in terms of casting reels. There's different options now than when I was getting into casting, bait casting. But to me, that's where I would go. Now, some people like the really powerful spinning reel setups, but I just really like the casting rods and reels. So, I guess to answer the question a little bit with a little bit more detail, if you can't stand to save for that long to go for one of the big carp reels, or, well, the carp rods and the big spinning reels to put on your carp rod, like a Tagara, Megara, Beluga, whatever, then there are some sort of mid steps that aren't quite as expensive, that are still going to feel more powerful than your alpha, but not quite as powerful as the what eventually will be like, or what's typically a really solid carp slash sturgeon setup. So I get not wanting to wait as long as it takes, but I would only do that. Oh, that common carp. There's an order for that. Don't let me forget. I've got to fill that cafe order. We need to put the PVA bag on that one. Hi, YouTube. Yeah, and I've never tried the caliber that Carp guy's talking about. It would be fun to try that reel. If I have some extra silver, I might look into it. Alright, so Fernian, this is the Everest 2 8000, max drag 22 kilo. If you want to get one of those, again, I would only get one. And then save for the other two more powerful ones. But it works great. I mean, I just pulled in the... why do I have these other fish in my net? Did we never sell these? That's weird. I just pulled in this 16 kilo frame. You know, it was a little heavy, but it was fine. You know, so yeah, it works. Alright, I don't think we've switched this yet, which we totally need to do. We don't have a PVA bag on here, which is silly. So let's go ahead and put that on there. I think the one that we were going to put on this one was the 10 out of 10, right? 9, 9, 10? Hold on, let me check. 9 out of 10. 10 out of 10, so I guess it was the other 9 out of 10. That's fine. Okay. Woo. All right, so this is a Megara, and its max drag is up to 25.5 kilo, so a few more kilos power over the Everest, and you can definitely feel a difference. Now again, I mean, I feel like you can probably catch any carp in the water on the Everest. It's just a matter of efficiency. And so you can also arguably pretty much catch any carp on an alpha. Just going to be a pain in the booty on some of the big, hard, strong ones, but it's not that it's not doable. I mean, I say that. I don't know that for sure. I guess there could be some of the species like trophies or blue tag sizes. I mean, you might have to be awfully good to sort of wear it out and all that. But, I mean, it's doable. I'm just saying what you're talking about is efficiency. And so, I don't know. All right, let me see if I can get rid of. Let me see if I can get rid of this Xbox thing. Why am I getting Xbox notifications? All right, let's see what this dry mix is. Carp guy just sent me some cornflour. Oh, that's interesting. So we could turn that into a PVA bag, but he's been using that with the mulberry, I think, and it's working really good. All right, right, so the steelheads seem like they're still around, from what Fernian is saying. Someone on YouTube had put a message about the steelheads being discontinued and what to do, what to get now, and I hadn't thought about checking yet, so apparently that's not true. They are still purchasable. I don't think we're going to be able to stay ahead of this. We need to make some more mulled wine. Oh, we've got plenty. Never mind. We might be able to stay ahead of this rain. It depends on how long it's going to last. For days. Let's see. Stores are not always restocked with server updates. At least they have not been in the past consistently. Supposedly, they run on their own algorithm. Algorithm. I don't know how to spell that. Rhythm. Okay, forget it. On their own formulas for when they restock. Wow. Where is 6394? I can't remember where that is. That sounds like a familiar number at Amber. I accidentally walked away from RF4 earlier when I made the video today, which is like several hours ago, and then came back later and like could kind of hear some bird noises in my office computer room. I guess I just stayed long. My poor fisherman was starving and all that, so. It's right behind the pond where you were fishing. $63.94. 63. So it might be, I don't even know. I get so confused when I try to think in my head about the latitude and longitude stuff. So, because there's occasionally some pretty decent sized fish mixed in here, I think even this bite rate that we've seen so far since we've been recording this video is an acceptable bite rate for carp. I mean, I'll check to see exactly how many carp we've caught, but if you're consistently catching around this amount with some really nice ones mixed in, the silver is going to be great. Plus, we hit it big on that common carp cafe order. I think that one was just big enough for the order, so we'll get more silver for it than we would have. So far we're not catching the best fish on this, the one that we actually have the chod rig versus compared to the pop-up, classic pop-up rig. So I had heard that a lot of people were using chod rigs these days, but I haven't seen like that much of a difference. If anything, it's been fine. I really like using the classic pop-up, to be honest. $63.94. Wow, good job, Carp guy. Got him a bastard sturgeon. Volkov is out of gold 80s? That surprises me. One thing that I'm liking about this spot too is the 30-meter clip. Amber Lake is such a big place. Some of the spots you end up doing some pretty crazy distance on the clips, right? Which leads to me reeling them in a much more impatient manner, which leads to me losing more fish, which I do not like to do. All right, we're getting very low on the primary bait that we're using here. We're going to only have one left after this, so I guess we make a quick run back to town. I'm not quite ready to wrap this up. I'd like to get into this day a little more. So we need some more Mulberry 15 pop-up. And we can turn that cafe order in, which will be nice, because it's going to be some decent silver. Thankfully, we are not far from town in this spot, which is another plus about this spot, to be honest. Driving is hard. All right. So this common carp order is for 59.9 silver. One fish. That is huge. And let's get those pop-up boilies. Get 100 of them. And let's see. Looks awfully common, doesn't it? So we've got 27 more dip. I wonder if I bought an extra one of those dips, because that will be the next thing to run out. Let's just make sure that nothing else had a fish on it. All right. Only in a carp spot can you, or I guess a sturgeon spot too would be the case, can you be gone for that long, get back, and only have one fish on and be okay with it. All right, so starting 27 minutes ago, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 decent carp with one more, so 10, counting the one we turned in for a cafe. And that one we turned in for the cafe was actually, besides this first frame, is actually the nicest carp we've caught so far. So just trying to keep that in mind for our time here. I mean, I can already tell, it seems like this is already a reasonable spot. Okay. So let's see. Well, I take that back. We did have at least one undersized, didn't we? 2 undersized, so 2 less than I just said. I mean, I think we'll stop it just like right at an hour. And so we'll see how the silver looks. You got to remember that we need to add about 60 silver to, although without the cafe order, it'd have been more like 30 silver for that fish probably, or thereabouts. So maybe we'll add 30 to our total to see how we do in an hour. So that means we want to stop at about 1900 or 20, I guess. And that'll be just about right at an hour, I think. Perch, white bream, Sitchell, roach, okay. What is our cooking up to? That's one thing. Once we can get our float fishing up, we'll start maybe looking at cooking next. Need a level float fishing, spin fishing, cooking, and then maybe one day in the very distant future we'll actually go through crafting lures. That's just a very expensive, slow process from what I've heard, so not something I'm anxious to like start immediately. I almost want to take one of these carp rods up and just like float fish for silly stuff around here, but it's not very smart. It's not going to give us a good read on how this spot is for carp. You need all 3 lines going to carp. But if we really want to get our float fishing up, we need to be fairly committed to pretty often having that, you know, that float number slowly rise. If it was happy hour right now, I would definitely want to do it. Well, we'll see if this is a decent one. Looks like both of those lines have bites going on. Okay. Should always do what's fun, right? Okay, do we want to, let's see how well the match rod will work. Let's go with 5.4 and 16 with just worm. Let's just see. And we'll do no clip and 80 centimeters depth. Let's just see. See if any of this gets anything going. I need to be able to still see our lines at least to know when a carp's on there. What if we tried to set this up to have a chance at catching a carp? So like a size 4 hook and what would y'all say? What am I thinking about here? Are the tench? I'm just trying to think of like what we could use that would give us the most options. All the tench are from Old Berg. Dang, this must be some good tench time at Old Berg. Look at that. All boilies. See, the issue is people just use boilies here. So we wouldn't even know. We could try something like honey dough, I guess. Right? I mean, I honestly have no idea. I'm just thinking out loud here. All right, it's touching the bottom. Okay, now it's not. So what I'm trying to think about here is like, what's a way that we could occasionally catch smaller fish, safer fish, but have a chance to occasionally catch like a small to medium-sized carp on the float, you know? Since we are at amber. I don't know if this will work or not, but it might. I mean, heck, we could do a 30-meter clip and just fish out of the same carp we're fishing. I mean, how deep do y'all think it is out there? Okay, it's supposedly 2 meters. So we put it at 1.5 meters. I don't think I can use any carp rigs, but we can still use baits that carp will like, and we could throw potatoes out there, you know? We could throw cheese, corn, peas, cabbage, bread, any of the doughy stuff. There's a lot of stuff we could try. We had a nibble out here, but it's not happening right now. Let's try this. I've got my mind on it here. I also just wanted to check, like, are we able to do anything that would be like, wait, carp hair rig? Is this gonna work? Like, what are we using here? Why don't we just stick with the mulberry? Do I not have any? Is all I have is pop-up mulberries? That's a tench, ladies and gentlemen. So all we have is sinking. I'm confused. I really thought I had mulberry, but apparently I don't. Okay, so let's try, what's something that we think would probably work here? Let's do banana. Banana 14. Let's put a little banana strike dip on there. I like it. Let's give this a try. So we are saying 30-meter clip. We're going to try 1.5 depth. And we're going to have to really look out there with our binoculars. Where is it? Wait, is it sinking the... Is my float sinking? Hold on. The float may need to be a lot heavier with that. This might be a pretty decent carp here. And if this doesn't work, we'll put potatoes on it. If I can't get a... someone was telling me that the floats rigs, some of them are busted, and like you can't, like, it doesn't matter what floats you use at all. It's too heavy to hold up the carp rig. Oh crap. Did not mean to move like that. This is a decent fish though. That's where you just like muscle in a fish with less powerful gear. You know, you'd be a lot less efficient. Still catch it, it's fine, but we just sort of muscled that sucker in. Yeah, it is not showing at all. So let's do a much heavier. All right, 14 gram. Actually, that red should show up better. Oh, shoot. Crap. Okay, that test doesn't work. Test is up to 35 grams. 14. 16. 17. Why is that outweighing the test? Oh, it's the sinkers that weigh so much. Okay, let's just we're making this too complicated. I'll have to test this later. Let's do a match rig with the oh. I don't have sinkers in my backpack? Are you kidding me? Where is that thing? Okay. What a disaster. All right. I'll work on this later. Apparently, I need to buy some sinkers. Okay. That has never happened to me before. I don't know if so those kind of sinkers are put on there automatically. So I guess you use them up? Do you use those sinkers up when you, why do I not know this? Because I don't do much float fishing? All right, we need to buy some sinkers apparently. How are we doing on carp here, by the way? Common carp, very good percentage of markers. I guess we've been chopping up the sub markers, but I don't think any of the commons were sub. Frames have been nice. Couple of decent linears. We had that one nice mirror. So it's been pretty good. By weight. Okay. So Carp guy was saying someone bugging him to go try this spot at Tuba about the big head and buffaloes. I have also noticed some conversation about that, so I don't know. It might be worth trying it. I think somebody posted something on the forums about that earlier today. Those are some pretty decent fish species to go after if it's a nice bite rate. We'll see though. Alright, so the first carp we caught was 50 minutes ago. So a couple more in-game hours and we'll have hit our 1 day mark. Starting to rain again. It rained for a lot of this fishing time, probably the first, I don't know, 8 hours or so. A lot of that was overnight. It looks like we're going to be finishing up in some rain too. But rain or shine, day or night, this spot has been pretty reliable. Have not yet seen any of the rare species, but a nice percentage of linears and frames and mirrors and all that. Can't wait to back to town and buy some sinkers. I know they give you those sinkers when you first start the game, the like old cheap Russian sinkers or whatever they're called. I just don't ever remember buying sinkers. I don't know. I feel like a real it's like I'm out of the loop on this whole sinker thing for float fishing. You know, fishing carp, I'm actually seeing our XP bar slowly move again. I guess because compared to the small fish, we're actually getting a decent amount of XP. That rain made our comfort level drop so fast. So watching the chat, it does look like Carp Guy's catching some nice buffalo in that spot. I think next time we go carp fishing, though, I'm going to change that chod rig back to one of the classic rigs. $117,101. Let's see if that's the spot I was hearing other people talk about. Yep, sure enough is. So that is the same spot for those buffaloes. Very cool. Yeah, we may try that later tonight. That will involve spending some silver, though, because I'm sure it'll have its own recipes and such. I have fished for buffaloes and stuff before, so I may already have, like, a lot of it's the krill stuff. Alright, sweet. We're going to at least catch one more fish here, it looks like. Yeah, we're at 55 minutes now. I think I'm just going to go ahead and call it after this when we catch the next fish. We'll just see what the silver looks like. I think the fishing in this spot's been fun, though. I really like this spot so far. It's our second time here in the last couple days, and it's just been good. It's a small one. Hopefully a tench. Yeah, it is. It's a couple of tench we caught. Okay, sinkers. I guess that's what we want, huh? Do you slowly run out of them? I have no idea. Honestly, I just don't even have any idea. Nothing new that interests us, order-wise. Okay, so let's go from here to here. 7 silver. All right, 185 silver. Not the same rate that we were making. Oh, plus 30. 215. In reality, we got 60, which would be 245, but it's because it was a cafe order. So not quite the same rate of silver as it was 2 nights ago, but it's awfully close. I mean, it's still really decent. So anytime you can get that 200 silver per hour, and with some good RNG, sometimes it'll be more or less, you know, like that seems like that's the way to go. Okay, as always, thanks for watching. I appreciate it. And if we get to another video tonight, it'll probably be big head carp. But I don't know. We might try something else too. And then again, it may be tomorrow. It may not. I may not get another one in tonight. It just depends. But thank y'all for watching. I will see you next time.